Now, lovelies, I want to welcome you all to the League of Badass Butterflies, and I want to welcome you all to the month of October here in our community of women who are stepping into their divine calling and being of service to other people. My name is Crystal Lynn Bell, and I'm a master spiritual life coach and worthiness advocate for women. And, even though I've not had a lot of sleep in the last 48 hours, I have my cousins that are visiting, and they are fun. And I have not seen these cousins for years. So I'm just rolling with my cousins right now. And my cousins, they know how to party. So we're just hanging out, okay? Although tonight I'm sleeping, okay? We've already made that clear that I am sleeping in, okay? But my point is this, we all have a kind of connection to the divine to be a spiritual life coach. We have a feeling that maybe we've gone through some things, and so we've developed some wisdom that we want to share with other people. And we can share that in many different ways. For some of us, it's going to be through the medium of coaching. All right. So being a life coach, sitting down, working with people one-on-one, working with people in groups, creating programs. A lot of the work, though, and a lot of the way that we share who we are and what we do is through the process of writing blogs, making videos like this, making podcasts, making MP3 downloads. Some of what we do is healing work, right? So there's no coaching involved. We're just doing hands-on healing, such as Reiki or theta healing or quantum healing, okay? It can be, the beautiful thing about being a life coach is that you get to do all of these things to the degree that you want to do them. This is why I personally love this work so much. It's very, very flexible. It's very creative, and it allows me to be in the moment for where I am, but also for where spirit is calling me when it is time to be working with a client and giving them some kind of love, all right? Some kind of healing or helping them in some kind of way, all right? So today we're going to be talking about, I'm going to just give you 5 very simple ways that you can embrace your soul's calling to this work, whether it's coaching or writing or healing or whatever it is you're going to do. How can you feel that connection to the divine and let it guide you more deeply into this work, especially where you are right now in this moment? How can you become more coach-like today? How can you move just even one step closer to helping other people heal and transform today? All right, so let me check in and see who's with me today. Yes, we've got Rebecca and Leanna. And if you're watching live, will you please type in the comments #live? That's really important for us. Also, if you're watching, give the video a thumbs up or a heart or some kind of a reaction. That's also very helpful. Teresa is here, and thank you, Teresa, for the encouragement. I completely appreciate that, darling. Thank you so much. So let me tuck into today's work. And by the way, I've been really working on kind of streamlining things. So I'm going to make sure that when we do our Tuesday, Friday live streams, I'm going to make sure that I'm done with these in about 30 minutes, okay? Because I want you to be able to get the information you need and then tuck on into the next part of your day, okay? So today we are talking about the five essential steps that you need to take in order to embrace your soul's calling. And what does that even mean? Like, what 5 steps is it that we need in order to embrace your soul's calling? Well, what we want, sorry, let me get my actual notes opened up here. Here we go. All right. So you and I are alike in that we both have a very strong feeling nature. We have strong intuition. And I'm saying it like it's just you and me, but it's you and me and everybody else on this call. That's kind of why we are all here, because we all kind of have a feeling. We get feelings about stuff, okay? And that feeling nature is really important, all right? So when I was becoming a spiritual life coach, I had a feeling in my heart that I wanted to be of service. It was not a logical thing that said, I think that I shall become a coach. That is a great way of making money, and it will be an interesting business plan. It didn't go anything like that at all. What I felt was a feeling of eagerness to share my own story. And like when I was working on my own healing or, going through challenges in my life, I had a feeling that said, other people are struggling with this. I can help them. It's a feeling that I had, okay? It's a feeling, a thought, energy. And when I said, gosh, a life coach, boy, it would be great to be a life coach. And I'm like, that feels so good. Being a life coach feels exciting. And then it became, I want to be a life coach, but I started looking at regular coaching certification, like traditional certification programs. And I thought, no fucking way. That does not feel exciting for me at all. And I remember having the conversation with God. I said, I want to work with people spiritually. I want to help people bridge their relationship with God and work on their problems that way, right? I want to work from the inside out. I don't want to work from the outside in. I don't want to just be a coach who just asks questions. I want to see what's going on with the shadow. I want to know what's going on inside the person. And then I want to actually, work on creating solutions for their issues, okay? I hope you all cannot hear the washing machine going off. I swear, French washing machines go for 2 hours. Like, you put some sheets in there, they're like, oh, you're washing sheets. We're gonna wash those sheets for 2 hours for you. Do we really need to be washing the sheets for 2 hours? I don't know, but that's how long this washing machine has been on. So I'm sorry about the noise, y'all, okay? So right now, you're a woman, you have a feeling you want to be a life coach. And, if you're like me, really, you come from a corporate background, a professional background where maybe you had to wear heels. In my case, I had to be dressed up like a professional. It was a medical environment, okay? And while it was very powerful to be a professional, there was not any kind of sense of purpose or connection to the work that I was doing. And this is where the problem is, right? So what I wanted to do was to make a decision for my soul to pursue my soul's calling and to trust that my soul and God and my spiritual guidance team would lead me appropriately. They would not abandon me. They would not lead me astray. okay, I would be led to be successful financially, successful materially, to be a good coach, to get certified, to do it right, but also for my own healing. Because when I first started out, and even to this day, there was no way that I'm like, wonderfully healed, like, oh, I'm perfect, I'm an angel, I'm operating at a very high frequency. Well, look, I am operating at a very high frequency because I've done all this work on myself. So yeah, I've got a good frequency. There are a lot of good things that are working on my behalf, thank God. But I wasn't here when I first started. I didn't know a tenth of what I know now. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know very much back then. I was new. But that was also a part of it. Part of it was trusting that my soul's calling was actually going to lead me to the wisdom, lead me to the teachers, lead me to the inspiration, lead me to all the things I would need so that I could thrive in this work. And Spirit did not let me down. Okay. So what we want to give you today are five steps or 5 ways that you can kind of really follow your soul. All right. And here's the first way. The first thing is to start learning how to put your own spiritual beliefs into words and into a system to start developing your spiritual philosophy. Now, I know that you have heard me talking about this before. I love the concept of the spiritual philosophy. We all have a spiritual philosophy. The problem is that we don't talk about it enough. And the biggest problem is that we haven't written it down so that we have it anchored for ourselves, but also for other people to get it, to understand us. And this is kind of one of the most important things that you can do. And it's not like you have to write your whole philosophy. You just have to start outlining it and writing down some of the key concepts, and to get yourself prepared to talk about these things on a regular basis, other than just in your head. Okay. Like me talking about this stuff with you all right now is really about, like I've already worked it out. Like I've already written about this stuff a lot. So for me to talk to you about it right now, it's pretty natural. And obviously I've organized my thoughts into today's live stream. So I've got my things all written out and all that kind of thing, but that's a part of it, like if you're going to do a live stream about something that's important to you, what you want to do is write it down and find the kind of nuggets that are most significant and share those with your audience. Okay. All right. Let me check in. I see that Teresa has given me some feedback here. Thank you, darling. Very nice. I work from the inside out. Yep. Go like, yes, ma'am. Very good. Okay. I do know what you mean. However, we're learning more and more every day. That's so true, girl. Absolutely. Beautiful feedback, Teresa. Thank you. So the first thing I want you all working on is articulating your spiritual philosophy. Okay. I just realized I've got my head in my hands. That's because I'm tired. My head literally feels really hard to stay up right now. That's funny. The second thing, okay, arm yourself with knowledge, right? So I'm just a big believer in, I was listening to Bruce Lipton today, and he was talking about the two ways that our minds take in things, right? So he was saying that the conscious mind takes in, things that are conscious and that you do on a regular basis. Like, if you read a book, you will consciously learn from the book, okay? But he said that the subconscious mind doesn't work that way. The subconscious mind learns at the theta level. So like when you're in hypnosis or in that moment when you are about to fall asleep, so when you're going to go from theta into alpha, or oh God, oh, is it alpha or delta? I think it's, you go from, what's the sleep state? Delta, huh? So you go from theta to delta. Is that how it works? I've got myself all turned around. Yeah, it's alpha, beta, theta, delta, I think. So anyway, he said that when you're in this theta state, this is the time for kind of reprogramming your subconscious mind. And that's how I work on myself. And I work a lot with my clients doing subconscious reprogramming. So getting them into that theta state through breath work and, creating those subconscious reprogramming scripts ahead of time. That's all a part of the process. Anyway, knowing this kind of thing, arming yourself with knowledge on a regular basis is also a way of honoring your soul and taking yourself closer to becoming a spiritual life coach, okay? So, of course, I want to invite you all to learn with me in a very formal way through my certification and business building program. I built it for you. My program was built for you to get you certified and to help you build your entire business. And I would love it if you would come and work with me and learn about it. So please book yourself in for a strategy call so that you and I can sit down and talk about your coaching vision, talk about your dream, like what do you want to do as a coach? Do you want to do healing? Do you want to read tarot? Do you want to be a medium as a part of your coaching? Yeah, well, we can talk about all that and put it all together in an incredible certification and business building program for you. It would be an honor to be able to take you through that. So this second part, arming yourself with knowledge, is really important because it's that knowledge that's going to help your conscious self figure out what to do with all the magic that is your natural talent, your natural intuition, your natural compassion, your natural knowing for how to heal and work with the inner child, the natural knowing for how to work with the shadow self. All right, I hope that all makes sense. All right, if you all have any questions or feedback, please type everything into the comments. And Rebecca, thank you so much for posting that link for me. All right, number 3, okay, I call this finding your flavor, all right? So, as a badass butterfly, you've got your beautiful badass butterfly wings, right? And part of the beauty is really, it's what I was just talking about, where your particular brand of coaching and healing and magic are what's coloring your butterfly wings, okay? And the beauty of that is that it makes you unique for yourself, so you get to be authentic, but also it helps you stand out in the marketplace as someone who is walking to the beat of her own drum, getting her results, and helping people based on her relationship with God so that it feels just authentic and natural. And there's no competition because you are the only one who can do you. There is no competing. There's no competing. That's fatigue talking. There is no competing when you are the only one in your lane, okay? It's really important to understand, right? So taking the time to find out within yourself, you know, what feels great and how you can bring it, just wonderful, wonderful work. This is a wonderful part of my program when I'm working with women and we're sitting down, like trying to figure out exactly what they're going to, you know, offer in their programs. It's a beautiful process. It's so creative and it's so fun. And the ladies all love it, of course. All right. Number 4 is about networking. Network, network, network. All right. And this is about you connecting to your spiritual tribe, you know, finding not just your audience and people who will follow you, but getting with people who are your peers, and you all can connect with one another in these very profound intellectual conversations. Anyone who has taught spirit knows that this is not talk for everybody. All right, give me an amen in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. You cannot talk about this stuff with just anybody, right? However, you can talk about this stuff with your people who are walking this talk, right? Like you can talk about this stuff with me. I can talk about this with Leanna. I can talk about this with Teresa, right? We are all, you all know what I'm talking about. I know what you're talking about. When you say stuff, I get you. And it's really important when you're an entrepreneur, it's important that you find your community and you spend time there. Not only are you all going to learn, right? You're going to learn from one another, but you're also going to learn and grow together. And that's also really important because being an entrepreneur, they don't call it being a solopreneur for nothing. There's a lot of time spent by yourself on your own. All right. All right. Number 5, this is our last one. And this is a really, really important, this is an important step. Too often, because we are young and naive, and we've never done this before, we don't know how to manage the money and the finances in our coaching work, right? So you want to be a life coach. I'm a life coach. How do you be a life coach and not a money grubbing weirdo, right? But you still need to ask for money. You still need to get paid for the things you do, okay? And notice how I'm saying this money grubbing weirdo, because I know that that's how some of you all feel. Some of you all are ashamed of asking to be paid for your services. And, you know, you all haven't even started this yet, and you're walking into this with this fear of, I don't know how I'm going to get paid, right? And I don't want to have to ask. I don't like having to deal with money. It makes me uncomfortable. I hear it. Excuse me, guys. I hear about this all the time because obviously I have my certification program and my students talk about it. New people who want to, interview with me are asking about it. And of course, you all have your feelings about it, right? If you have an issue with getting paid, put a note in the comments for me. If you have an issue with getting paid, like you've got some fear around it, some doubt, like you got some weird feelings around it, okay? I want you to just put a little note in the comment. You can just say me, whatever. I want you to know that I totally empathize with you. My heart goes out to you. I also want you to I want you to also understand that you don't have to worry about this, that actually what you need to do is focus on giving or offering, right? Don't worry about the money. The money will come. You will set your prices, and then you will set your prices, and then you will forget about your prices. You do not need to be thinking about your prices all the time. Set the price, think it through logically, rationally, leave your emotions out of it. Look at what the market is offering. Look at what people are paying in the marketplace, okay? Rational, logical pricing. Figure out your pricing, where you fit in this marketplace, what you're offering, okay? Figure it out, and then drop it. Stop thinking about it. Don't give any more thought to it until it's time to alter your pricing, meaning it's time to raise your pricing, okay? The reason you don't have to think about it again is because you've already thought about it. You should not be thinking about it anymore. So how do you do that? You're like, Crystal, but I'm nervous. I have to ask people to pay me for my, services. I want to ask people for $3,000 or $4,000. How am I going to ask them for that? I want to ask them for $10,000. I want to ask them for $20,000. How do I do that? Well, once you've determined your price, the beautiful thing that you get to do is to focus on being of service. Don't think about your pricing. Think about the transformation that you are delivering people. When I take people through my program, they feel the value of my program. They feel it because they feel supported. It looks beautiful. They are changing. My students are constantly saying, my mind expanded. I learned this. I learned that. I can't believe I'm doing this. This is powerful. I have shifted. I look back. I'm not the same person that I was, right? I don't have to think about how much I've charged them. I figured out the pricing already. All I have to do is focus on those beautiful feelings that they have and how I can keep delivering them that joy, that confidence, that prowess, that wisdom, that knowledge, those tools. How can I do that for them? So the fifth kind of step or tip is to really enjoy the fact that you have something of value to offer and to stop being in your head, get out of your fucking head, and just go offer them the service and let them pay you for it because they want to. You've already figured out the right pricing because you sat down and thought through like a logical, rational person. There's no need to carry around fear or doubt about your pricing because you've already thought it through. All right. So the fifth step to really honoring your soul and making sure you are handling your business is to let your soul focus on being of service. Don't weigh it down by fear of having to sell and fear of pricing. Okay? All right. That's it, my friends. I did pretty well. I started a little bit late. We're at exactly 30 minutes, 32 minutes here. And I want to just, again, I want to thank you for joining me today, but I also want to let you know what I'm doing on Friday of this week. I really like our lineup. We have such cool things we're going to be talking about. So Friday, actually, we're going to be talking about choosing the right certification program for yourself. Why? Why are we talking about that? Why is it important? Well, choosing the right certification program for yourself is akin to choosing the pathway of your own evolution as a coach, right? What is your personal evolution as a coach? This is super important, and I want to encourage you to come to that session with the kind of open-mindedness to kind of think about, like, well, what path do I want to walk as a Padawan on the path to becoming a Jedi Master? Under whom do I want to study? What do I want to learn? What's important for me? That's what we're going to be talking about on Friday, because, you know, you have a choice, okay? All right, I'm going to go ahead and let me just check in, make sure everybody's okay. Let's see, Teresa says, I definitely walk, dance, run, etc. to my own beat. Yes, ma'am. Leanna gave me an amen. She gets it. Teresa says, I have a list of the things that I want to offer. However, my list keeps getting longer because I find new stuff I would like to offer my clients. Hey, Teresa, you can make that list as long as you want, but at some point you actually have to start offering something. So just start, okay? The fifth step is super powerful, straight facts. Super powerful, right, Leanna? I totally get it. And yes, thank you. I'm glad that you found this to be a really good lesson. Yes, absolutely, absolutely, Leanna. Thank you so much. So I want to thank you, ladies, for joining. All of you who are watching joining me live, but also watching the replay. Thank you so much. I will see you all on Friday. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and wish me a good night's sleep, y'all. Wish me a good night's sleep so that I can relax and get up tomorrow, come out fighting, okay? All right, everyone. Bye for now. Bye, everybody. Bye.